Yes, that's right. It's finally happening. Since the beginning of the show, I've really wanted to talk about this character, but just never had a solid enough topic to choose. But after the most recent arc and some of the other smaller scenes, I believe it is finally time. Not to mention, this is probably the most requested video I've gotten since I've created this series. Let's talk about the perfect character design of Shoto Todoroki. But before we begin, a huge thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. I'm just saying, maybe if Endeavor had used Surfshark, his wife wouldn't have seen his internet history and yeah. No, but seriously, Surfshark is way more than your average VPN. It's stupidly easy to switch which region you're in, which, by the way, you can get out of region locking for anime that may not be available in your country. Oh yeah, they also have this tool called Clean Web that blocks ads, trackers, and malware. Frankly, there are a ton of other tools that they have, and I just love how clean and easy it is to use. So for a limited time, they are giving you guys 83% off a 2-year plan with 1 extra free month. All you have to do is go to surfshark.deals/ManimeMat and use the code ManimeMat. It's actually very affordable and a good way to protect yourself online because, let's be real, the internet is a scary place. Once again, head over to surfshark.deals/ManimeMat and use code ManimeMat for 83% off a 2-year plan with that extra free month just tossed in there. Shoto Todoroki is basically what I call one of the Elite 3. He's essentially one of the top 3 students in Class 1A, the other 2 being Bakugo and Midoriya. And although those 2 characters do generally get a bit more attention than most, Todoroki has had some decent screen time to himself. His quirk is half hot, half cold. Basically, he's able to create both flames and ice using them on specified sides of his body. He was also, by and large, leagues above everyone else when they first began attending UA. He actually didn't even have to participate in the entrance exams, being brought in as an honors student, and for good reason. Not only is his quirk stupidly powerful, he's also extremely skilled at using it for both volume and precision. Todoroki is no joke, and from that description, should be an unstoppable force. However, he's not. He's got let's just say, some problems. In particular, his feud with his father. Todoroki hates his father because he just sees Shoto as a means to an end. Oh yeah, and Todoroki's father is Endeavor, the #1 hero in Japan. So yeah, standard abuse to Shoto's mother, a broken family, and crazy high expectations from Endeavor placed onto Shoto. It's not a good situation back at home. So what makes Todoroki such a good character? Well, first off, we get to see him develop. He starts off as this cold, standoffish character who doesn't want to be friends with anyone. There's someone who casually walks up to a group of children and begins telling them his life story. I mean, he's far from perfect, but he's a great character who we get to be with every step of the way. I mean, look at the way he changes throughout the sports festival arc. At this point in the anime, he only used half of his quirk, ignoring the fire side strictly to spite his father. Yet throughout the fight with Midoriya, Todoroki is lectured and finally begins to accept that this quirk was his and not his father's. That he shouldn't care about what his father thinks of him, even if it's positive. But unlike most other anime, this revelation is gradual. He does this in a spur of the moment in the fight against Midoriya, yet he can't bring himself to do it again in his fight against Bakugo. Not out of spite or disrespect for Bakugo, but because Todoroki is human and is still just coming to terms with the fact that this quirk is uniquely his, and he should use it to its fullest potential. It's not until the fight with Stain that we see this come to fruition. Not only does Todoroki not hesitate to use his flames, but this time we even see him lecture Ida for doing essentially the same thing he was doing, bottling up his feelings and refusing to trust anyone else, believing that he alone would conquer all of his problems. Todoroki went from a character who was supposed to be getting development into someone who can help develop others. At heart, we see that Todoroki truly wants to be a hero just as badly as Midoriya and Bakugo, despite being less emotional about it. I think the best case for this is in the Bakugo rescue arc when Bakugo has been taken hostage by the League of Villains. Todoroki is one of the people who actively wants to go after Bakugo and rescue him. Hell, when they first come into contact with All For One, the people Ida grab onto is Midoriya and Todoroki, fearing that they were just going to jump into action no matter how bad the odds were. Todoroki is a truly fantastic character. He's still an emotional character, but his demeanor and presence in the show is less extreme than Midoriya and Bakugo, giving a much needed break to how extreme the characters can be in the series. But often his biggest weakness is his past trauma and his skills with working with other people. But even those are improving. Best example of this is the Provisional License arc and the Wind Dude. Instead of just letting the Wind Dude's shade slide, he more or less doubles down on fighting against him and they both fail. But later on in the series, we get to see them actively working together despite their differences. Todoroki is a fantastic character to fill in the cast and is often a solid, reliable character you can always depend on to be there. His development throughout the series is debatably the largest and is clearly still an action. But he can also flex into a character who can support others and help them with their development also. Needless to say, I can't wait to see how Todoroki turns out, and I can see why he is so beloved by much of the community. You could even say that he's almost as good as Bakugo. I'm gonna get so much shit for that. Thank you guys for watching. A huge thank you to my patrons. You guys are my heroes. Make sure you guys share, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Manime Matt. Make sure you guys stay man and go watch that goddamned anime.